Good morning and happy day 16 of Vlogmas. The kids are off school. This is the horrible camera angle for me. Today is the first day of the school holidays for my children. There is a PD day today. And okay, only Ellie is at school. Alfie starts nursery in January. We are on the last holiday before both of my children are in childcare. Yes, Alfie? Alfie is currently in the Christmas tree box with the lid shut. So every now and then he checks I'm still here. I have decided this morning, I've opened my advents, I've had a very lazy start to the day, and I've decided to grab my Fibre Fox advent and my Anglia Yarns advent and do a little tidy up. I'm not working with these yet because there's a lot of work going on at the moment. I was up late last night and I will be working all day today in between kitty things to finish working on East Anglia Yarn Festival prep for ticket launch. Not finish working on East Anglia Yarn Festival prep full stop, because that will take forever and a day, but just for the ticket launch, which goes live tomorrow, Saturday the 17th of December at 10 AM. And tickets and classes and the social event, all of those go live tomorrow morning, which is a lot of work. Not just for me, but also for Jem of the Little Grey Girl, who is my website developer extraordinaire. So I'm taking 2 minutes now to have a tidy up of these because I think it will be a really fun job. And what I have decided to do is I still have advents from last year in their packages. You can't see what you've got, and I just don't open those boxes, and that's ridiculous because they're beautiful things that deserve to be worked on and I need to see them. And I want you guys to see them too. So I'm going to take my Anglia Yarns and my Fibre Fox, which have got very messy because I've opened the packages, looked at the yarn, squished it, loved it, put it back in the parcels so that I can knit something in order when they're all open. Except I can't see them all as a one, and I need to be able to see them all as a one. So that's quite messy. This box is shut now, but only because I've really squashed it, because I've just been opening them all and then popping them back in the bags and putting them back in. It's got very, very messy. So I'm going to pull them all out in order, and I'm going to use some string, and I'm going to hang the skeins on the string so that I can see them all in order, and that's how I'm going to store them going forward, so that I can see them all and add them to the order every day. And then as soon as I'm ready to work on them, there they are in their order. I can see them all, and it'll help me pick a pattern as well. So that is my fun little job before I get cracking on work for today. Yay! Okay, so I have done it with both of the advents that I want to keep in order. Alfie is playing cards on the floor at my feet. So this is the Fibre Fox, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing fade. Georgie is known for her amazing fades. So we have the Fibre Fox, and I can now tuck that into the box. I might hang them up at some point, but I'm not sure Chris will love the idea of yarn garlands around the house this Christmas. But there's Georgie's, and I can now tuck it into the box. It takes up way less space than it did before, and the box looks so much neater. And then here is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from Giddy Yarns, and stop focusing on my face. There we go. And I have some absolute favourites. This one. Focus on my face. There we go. And this one. Are two of my absolutes. I love them all, but yeah. So there's Giddy Yarns, and yeah, I do like the idea of these being hung somewhere in the house, but I'm not sure I'm going to get away with it. But again, now this just folds up like that, and I kind of want to see it. So I was thinking I was going to tuck it into the bag, which I know Helen's already shown these bags on her Vlogmas, but they tuck into the corner, into a little corner pouch. So I will be using this a lot next year. But yeah, I was going to put them in there, but I was like, I want to see them, so I'm not going to put them in there. I'm just going to set them in here. But it looks so much more attractive to me to have a pile of minis sat there, and I know that every day I can pull it out and add the next one to it, rather than a ton of little sweetie bags that are all quite messy because I've ripped into them and piling up on top. So I will reorganise this a little just so that my next day's parcels are all sat nicely here in a corner. But it all feels like it fits so much better now into the basket and into the box, and I'm all organised. Yay. Ellie's just been to the Rainbow's Christmas party, haven't you, baby? Was it super fun? Was it fun? Was Rainbow's Christmas party fun?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, she's got some cards and things to open. But Alfie fell asleep in the car, has come in and got into the dog's bed and curled up and gone back to sleep. Alfie? Alfie, gonna eat them chips? Alfie? Hello, hello. It is late and I am putting a square in my square-a-day blanket on the sofa. You can see my walls covered in green pen. Alfie had a pen, there is now a green pen on the walls, on the table. It happened this year and we haven't sorted out yet. It's a Sharpie, it's not coming out, I got to paint over it. Fun, fun, fun. Anyway, I was just putting a square in my blanket and I thought I'd give you a little update now on how it's going because it is growing. So I'm 20 squares wide now, which if I stretch it a little is my wing. Well, actually, I'm not even stretching it that much. It's my wingspan. And I'll give you a little rundown. So I started down here, and these first 4 squares were out of a swap that I did with 2 of my friends in the summer for a birthday package thing, and we opened 5 grams a day for the month of June, and it was so lovely. And I had decided that I thought I might like to put the Giddy Yarns collaboration advent into a blanket, and I thought, well, it was a few days before advent started, and I thought I'm going to just start one off and see how I like it with this stitch count. So I'm using the Cozy Memories blanket by, is it Kemperay? Can't remember now, but the one, I think it might be, is it the Coziest Memory? Or not, it might just be the Cozy Memories blanket. The one that everyone uses. It's a free pattern, and I have done these before, but always with more stitches. And I was on the Lay Family Yarn Retreat with my lovely friend Sharon, who is the Knitting Project. She's SCR1TNO on YouTube, and she used to be the SCR1TNO Knitting Project podcast, I think, but I think she's renamed as the Knitting Project. And she's doing Vlogmas, and I'm watching it, and it is good. So if you want another Vlogmas, to watch and you're watching mine, go and watch hers. And she's making, she always makes these square a day blankets, she's well known for it, but she's making a little one for her soon to be first grandchild. And it had little squares, and I was saying to her that I just don't have the discipline because it takes me ages, I can never get through a square in a day. And she said, just make smaller squares, which makes perfect sense, and I'm just obviously not that bright. So I went for 30 stitches to cast on, and it's perfect because I can get one finished in a really small amount of time. So that's what I'm doing. So I started with 1, 2, 3 and 4 from that swap that we'd done, and then Advent began. And I think it started off with Cookstone Crafts. I don't think I can name all of these, just so you know. So my bottom line is the first 4 from that June swap, and then into this year's charity Advent collaboration, Cookstone Crafts, Blue Fern Yarns. I know that's Mawam, but I can't remember who did the Mawam colour. This one's sparkly, I haven't got a clue. I want to say that's Rusty Ferret, but I might be wrong because this one might be Rusty Ferret. So yeah, I'm gonna stop trying because I can't. Though that one I think is Fibre Fox. And then this one, I'm stuck on the needle. This one, look at that. This one, which has got my little ghosty from Corner of Craft. This one, which is Helen from Goody Yarns. Yeah, Helen from Goody Yarns. This one, which is the Flump colourway. Certain sweets I won't forget, which was Marcus, Cyberpunk. This one, which was Vicky Brown Designs, but I don't know what the inspo was. This one, can't remember, but I feel like it might have been Henny Penny Makes. This one, which was Bird Street. And this one, which I won't forget because it is White Jazzies, and it is from, you can't see it very well in this lighting, but it's from the Little Grey Girl, who is one of my good friends. So my blanket is 20 squares wide at the moment. Obviously I might change that and make it bigger, but I feel like we're good. And then I started with last year's charity collaboration Advent, because last year I bought the Goody Yarns Presents charity collaboration Advent and I didn't use it, which has happened with a lot of Advents. I have a lot of scrappy swap Advents that are out in the garage all still wrapped up, so those will all go in here as well. I have minis coming out my eyeballs. I'm going to be fine for minis for a long time. So this is last year's charity collaboration, which I'm adding on top. And then I'm thinking, because obviously it's 20 squares long and there's 24 days, what I'm thinking is the last, because this is 16 days worth of this Advent and I have 8 days left, I'm going to pop those 8 days on the top here and make a 3rd row. And then when I get to the end of here with the first 20 of last year's collaboration Advent, I'll then add them onto the top row as well. So this one is Henny Penny Makes, this one is Rusty Ferret, this one is mine. This was my Charlie and Chocolate Factory inspired colourway from last year, and it's really funny because it's really matching with the book and the colours on the colour edition of the book that we're reading. I can't remember that one. That one is Giddy Aunt Yarns, I think. That one is the Fibre Fox. This one is Fruitful Fusion. This one is Green Lambkin Yarns. This one is Casvia Yarns, and then I'm currently on Cookstone Crafts. So this is last year's Advent going in on top, and it's so nice to see it building up. And even though this one is part way through, it won't take me that long to finish it, but I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. I think I've grabbed my Notions case, which has, this had loads of spares in. So I know I have a needle, so I have a whole bunch of needles, and I have a whole bunch of scissors. Well, I have a blue needle, not a green one. And I've got a bunch of little scissors, and I'm going to go along the back and weave in ends. I have been weaving in some of them as I go. So you can see here where I've been weaving some in as I go, but others I haven't, so I'm going to just secure all those that I have started to weave in and weave in those that I haven't and snip them. And I think what I'm going to try and do, because I am not the person that will be weaving in the ends on a square every time I finish a square, but every time I get to the end of a row, maybe I'll go back and then make a job of weaving in the ends for the entire row. I think I'm more likely to do that anyway. So I'm going to do that now and just tidy this up a little bit, but I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, tomorrow I can start the third row because the first row is done, and I'd like to keep those advents maybe together a little bit. I don't know, I'm not that bothered. If I run out of this row of 20 before the end of Advent and I want to mix up this year's Advent and last year's Advent in this row, I will. It's okay. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with it so far, and I'm hoping that Sharon's going to do her square a day cal again next year, because I've got a head start finally. Last year I started as well, but I wasn't doing something as quick as this. It wasn't as good an idea as this. So I'm hoping that this year she does it again, and I've got myself a head start because she lets you include works in progress, and I can get to the end of the year with 365 squares maybe, because that would be bloomin' epic. Anyway, it's really late, so I'm going to weave in a couple of ends and then I'm going to bed.